Welcome back to ZQ1 Plays. I'm so glad that you're here today. Today we're going to be going over what are the best 5 Pokemon from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. These have to be Pokemon that were introduced in this game, and they're based pretty much solely on my understanding and like what I like or don't like about these Pokemon. Battle prowess was considered, but it definitely was not an overall like top factor, as you can tell. It has more to do with design and my personal preferences, and so hope you enjoy it, and I would love to hear about your top 5 Pokemon from this game in the comments below. Without further ado, though, let's get into it with some honorable mentions. Alright, so in order to discuss some honorable mentions, I just decided to put them all in a party and have a little picnic kind of like this. So you can tell I wanted to recognize a couple of Paradox Pokemon from each game because I think these were great designs for the most part, and they were super fun, but also, in my opinion, they didn't quite reach as high as some of the base game Pokemon, especially when you take into consideration how some of their stats are just so forced, right? I mean, like, I wish we could have got some of these stat spreads on some of the cooler designs from the base game. So, first off, from the past, the Scarlet games, you have Great Tusk here. One of my total favorite designs. I've always been a Dawn fan. Well, a fan of Dawn fan, however you want to say that. And so to see Great Tusk just made me so excited to have a usable, really kind of like amazing looking form of Donphan. Also Screamtail in that same neighborhood. I love Jigglypuff. I think Jigglypuff is so cool. I love him in Smash and all the different variations in the anime and stuff. So seeing Screamtail was like a dream come true. I mean, way better stats than Wigglytuff. Very usable, but also just look how cute. I mean, the fact they can fly and they have the long hair, super nifty. In terms of the future Paradox Pokemon, I really like the designs of Iron Thorns and Iron Bundle. I think they both were so cool. Now, Iron Thorns, if this was purely about battle prowess, would obviously be way lower on the list. He has a typing that pretty much kills him. I mean, you can't even hardly use him in like base game trainer battles against computers because this guy goes down to so many common types. But Iron Thorns is still really cool. And then you have Iron Bundle. Iron Bundle, of course, being a vamp off of Delibird, which is a Pokemon that's so cute and amazing, but also very underpowered. So I loved both of those designs. I think they went really well. And then we had Garganacl. He almost made the list. This guy's design is just peak, in my opinion. Taking a salt Pokemon, making something off of that idea, making him a rock type, giving him a themed ability, great stats to boot. I just think this guy's super cool. He also, to me, he just looks cool. He looks way different than a lot of other Pokemon, but I think he definitely makes the grade. And then finally, for honorable mentions, if you've been around this channel very long, you know my favorite Pokemon is Girafarig. Sorry, this is for Farigiraf. Girafarig is my favorite Pokemon. He's in my logo. He's everywhere. So whenever they gave him an evolution, I thought, wow, here we go. My favorite Pokemon getting evolution. And I like him, right? I like Farigiraf. To me, he doesn't quite hit the design level that the original Girafarig did in terms of just the look and the appeal. But I do think Farigiraf has one thing going for him, and that is his performance. I mean, he's just one of the best Pokemon in the game with his types, his abilities, the fact that he's just like a full standing giraffe. Like, there's so much going for him that's super cool. I wish he could have made my top 5, but he missed it by just a hair.
Number 5.
It is Tinkaton. Now, Tinkaton is a Pokemon that I think is just extremely cute, right? It's a Pokemon that has 3 different stages. I'm looking for some of the wild early stages of this Pokemon. But it's a 3-stage fairy-type Pokemon, and it's this little pink creature that carries its own hammer around. And as it grows, it matures into, again, a Pokemon that has this massive hammer, one of the coolest Steel-type moves in the game, and of course that incredible typing of Fairy and Steel. So for those reasons, and for the fact I just think the design is so cutesy, in keeping with some of the classic Pokemon designs, I think Tinkaton is one of my favorite Pokemon from this game. Here's a Tinkatink, really cute, right? I think I saw another one over here. Yeah, there it is. They're so cute. When you first find them, you're like, whoa, new Pokemon, you know, because they're not really super common in this game. And then when you begin to train it and it evolves 2 times into the huge Tinkaton, super cool. Let me pull up its dex entry so I can show you a good picture of it. So here we go, Tinkatink, and it evolves into Tinkatuff, and then eventually Tinkaton. And this is the menace herself, right? So cute. She learned some great moves, and also, again, just one of the best designed Pokemon in the game.
Number 4.
All right, then, number 4. You're probably wondering what I'm doing here in Area 0. Well, you're about to see. But number 4 is a Pokemon that at first I was just amazed by. The design is beautiful. It's one of my favorite colors, blue. It's also got this like strange alien quality to it. And then I realized where they spawn, and I began to see them in the wild during the end game of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I dove down here to the bottom of this pit, and I'm about to show you what they look like in the wild. Glimmora. Look at this thing. It looks like a little spaceship cruising around, right? It's the big one there. Well, my favorite was when you begin to see them like this, mounted on the wall in their like full fleshed out flower form. And of course, in battle, you can't really see this form unless it uses a move and it kind of uses it as an animation. You cannot make this up. As I'm sitting here showing you this, in the background, a shiny Glimmora shows up. This is why you come to Ziggy1 Plays, right, for my shiny hunting content. Well, here we go, on screen while we're trying to make a separate video entirely. Yeah, shiny Glimmora. Amazing Pokemon. Let's encounter this and catch it, and then I'll get into why I love it so much. Wow. Finally got the critical capture there on this shiny Glimmora. You cannot make this stuff up. Running into one randomly while filming a video. How amazing.
Number 3.
Since we're already in this zone, we'll just kind of track around here for fun. My next Pokemon, number 3 on my list. Favorite Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet introduced in this game. Number 3 goes to the Bellybolt. Isn't he cute? Oh my gosh. The shiny form's pretty good, I will admit. The base form looks amazing too. This design is just off the charts. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of like Poliwag, Politoed line, except for, to me, it's even cuter in some ways. I mean, look at it bouncing around and some of the expressions it makes and the wide frog eyes. Oh my goodness, I couldn't get enough of this in the base game. I actually use this Pokemon to pretty great effect as well on my championship team that I used in the base game. And so Bellybolt is my third favorite in the base game. Obviously, as far as battle prowess goes, not near as powerful as some of these other ones that I've mentioned. It can hold its own if it's like, out leveled and stuff, but in terms of like online battling, it's not going to do a ton. I mean, it can hit pretty hard if you set it up correctly, but he's not able to live a lot of hits, and also he's only electric typing, meaning that his strongest hits won't even touch ground types, and etc. So he is good. He's not definitely not as powerful as some of the others, though.
Number 2.
Wo-Chien. Wo-Chien to me, again, one of those almost peak designs. The leaves, the eyes, the twigs, the wood walkway plank thing that wraps around the backside of it. The fact that the whole thing comes together to look like a slug, despite being clearly based on nature and natural elements. To me, it is just peak drawing of a creature. And I think it is so cute to boot. I can't explain it, but those little shifty eyes with the leaf body just gets me every time. I wish I had this thing to pet and to make my own. I would take good care of him. But Wo-Chien is absolutely one of my favorites. Now, I was a little disappointed to know that he was a grass and dark. I mean, that's a great typing offensively, but there's some elements to it that are just really negative, namely that you die pretty much to anything that uses a U-turn, which is a really common move, even in singles. And so, yeah, he's not the best in battle. He is still pretty good, though, because his stats are amazing. And on the defensive side, he's super tanky because of his ability and, of course, how you can train him. All right? So Wo-Chien, number 2 on my list, second best design in all of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I just think it is such a wonderfully made Pokemon. Can't wait to use it in battle in the future as well, especially if there's an opportunity to use it when maybe he's not so underpowered because of his typing and everything. Just because I can, I'm going to show off my brand new shiny Wo-Chien. This is not the one that I grew up with, so to speak. This is the one that I just got from a special raid event that's been going on the last few weeks. Shiny Wo-Chien looking great as well. Finally getting to see it in the game. All right, and the final Pokemon in the game that I have a very strong affinity for, I think is absolutely the best design in Scarlet and Violet, but I know that this is one that speaks to me personally. It's probably not everybody's favorite, but to me, it goes to none other than Rabska. You may have already known this if you followed my channel for a while. He was one of the first Pokemon that I used on the ladder in the official VGC format early on in Scarlet and Violet. Now, he's not very powerful. He's not able to hold his own, especially in the modern formats that have all the legendary Pokemon, but he does get a very powerful move called Revival Blessing, which basically brings one of your Pokemon back from fainting to be able to battle once again. Also, Rabska has a pretty decent typing in Bug Psychic and the ability to avoid partners' moves with the ability Telepathy. And so, yeah, Rabska is not bad. He's pretty well-rounded, but unfortunately he is not amazing, which is sad to me. But, of course, I understand why it is that way. But the gold and the beautiful big psychic ball and just kind of the mystical element of Scarab in the desert, reminding me of Aladdin or something like that. It just came together in a design that I really, really liked. Not to mention that when you find this as a shiny, it's this Pokemon right here, Roll It, I think is what it's called. That ball that it's rolling around turns solid gold, which I just thought was such a unique and cool idea for a shiny Pokemon. And when I first saw it, yeah, I was amazed. I grabbed it immediately, and it became quickly one of my favorites, especially when it evolved, and I got to see this amazing form that it took. Rabska, you're the real GOAT. You can see all of my favorite Pokemon right at once. Well, not Tinkaton, but you see Tinkatink, Glamora, as well as Rabska, Bellibolt, and Wochien. These guys are awesome. And, of course, Giraffrig's one of my favorites of all time. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, comment, subscribe. It means the world to me. I'm really trying to reach 1,000 subscribers right now. And then also, I may look at doing this same list for other games from the past as well, which I really, really enjoy. So thanks again for watching. Comment your 5 in the comments below, and we will see you in the next video here on Ziki1 Plays. Peace out.